Hey Sunshine, welcome to your October 2023 pick a card reading. A few tips before we begin. Make sure you're choosing with your intuition and your heart instead of your eyes. Taking a moment to meditate on the cards, ask your guides, ask your source energy to pick one for you is actually the most helpful. Also keep in mind that this tarot reading is general. It may not reach and be for everyone. And if it does not apply, let it fly. And I'll go ahead and add in another 30 seconds for you to pick the card that is for you. And then we can hop right into pile number one. Hey, group number one, welcome to your reading for October 2023. Let's hop into these tarot cards and see what y'all got going on, okay? So first out, we have the Page of Wands in reverse. Okay, and then we have the King of Pentacles in reverse. Then we have the Nine of Cups in upright. So look at that, change of look, okay? So beginning in October, you may have a tendency to be overworking, maybe a little over concerned with work. And I'm also getting this message of burnout, as if you just feel like you're working really hard, but you're not seeing the results, or you are seeing results, but maybe not to your standards. So you're almost like getting frustrated at the lack of like quickness or results. I guess I keep saying that, but that's the best thing I can think of, is like we're not getting the results that we want. It's not coming as fast, but it doesn't feel like you need to take a step back for rest, more so just to see things clearly. Because if you're, whatever it is you're focusing on, whether it's work, a project, a passion project, maybe a person that you're interested in, whatever it is, it's kind of almost running away from you, pal number one. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's running away from you, more so because you are almost too intensely focusing on what it's going to give you versus doing it off of your own inspiration or maybe your excitement that you once upon a time had. It's almost like you being a little bit too forward with whatever it is. But it almost feels like the moment you take a step back, the moment you say to yourself, you know what, I don't care. Okay, is exactly when you're going to get what you're asking for. This almost feels like the more you tap into your spiritual side, tap into yourself, things of that nature, you'll start to see the results of whatever it is you've been trying to get to happen. I would even say for the last few kind of months, okay? So October is going to be a great month for manifesting if you can manage to shift your energy away from status, greed, trying to get. And I know this is probably a hard message for somebody to swallow, because you may not see yourself in that light. You may be thinking, Shay, I'm not greedy, or I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not out here trying to get everything I can get. But sometimes it's that we're so intense about a goal that we're not even taking a step back, right? Power number one. So that's more so the message. There also may be a fire sign that's relevant to you this month, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. They could be younger, and an earth sign, Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo, and they could be slightly older. Does not have to be, just things that I'm picking up. That those could also be your signs or in your big three. Someone may be dyeing their hair blue, or like doing some specific hobby or creative project. That's coming up for me. Clarity, 3 cards. What else is going on for pile number 3? Yeah, and then we have the 7 of Pentacles. Yeah, so we just need some patience. Pile number 1. And I think you kind of discover that throughout the month, if I'm being honest. Like, you discover that it's not really a matter of your talent. It's not really a matter of your effort or whatever. It's just a matter of like whatever it is you're trying to do, it just takes a little minute to grow. You just need a little more patience. So I feel like you may get into the flow of that as the month goes. Like, okay, I'm gonna just stop trying to force everything and just see what happens. And then going from there. And I think you'll honestly get more joy from that. So like, if you're watching this like mid-October and you're like, I'm still frustrated, know that if you are, it's probably because you just haven't taken enough step back or like refilled your own cups with this 9 of Cups. Like, this is definitely like manifested desires. Things are coming true. We're seeing success. We're feeling fulfilled. That's a big word, right? But sometimes the fulfillment comes within. We don't need, you know, all of these excess things to make us feel good about ourselves, despite the fact that we may feel like we do need those things, right? So since we're getting into the vibe of manifestation, I'm going to pull one of these Moonology manifesting cards and just see what comes up. What's going on with pile number 1 in October? What do they need to know about their October? How can they quickly manifest? Okay, embrace the flow of life. So they're really going to bring this message home. What is this? Full moon in Gemini? Yeah. You may be trying to think, fix, talk your way into figuring something out, but the reality of it is this is just a moment in time where you just need to let things follow through. For some of you, again, if it's career, especially if it's something that is completely out of your hands, it's not one of those like, if you do this, this is the product and this is how much money you get. If you're doing something like, for instance, YouTube, Instagram, I don't know, starting a business, something that just, it's almost a little bit out of your hands as far as how well it's gonna do. It's a process. You're waiting on a process. So there's a little bit of frustration because it's not going fast enough. But the moment you accept that this is literally just a process, and I'm actually gonna put this on a little card for y'all. The moment you accept that this is a process, the easier things are going to be, pile number 1. Okay, so let's get into your romantic relationships or other relationships and just see what's happening. What is pile number 1? What is group number 1 experiencing in their relationships in October 2023? Ooh, stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. Okay. Thank you. Forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. Some of you may have, not even just recently, but you have went through a lot when it comes to people, okay? It feels like a lot of you have went through a lot, maybe a lot of situations that have really, I don't want to say it left a bad taste in your mouth, but I'll just say that it's been enough to make you kind of either swear off love or just be really skeptical about people and their intentions. And I'm getting this very solid message to tell you to forgive, not so that you can forget or not so that you have to go, running back to whoever it is you may have had to cut off or distance yourself from, but more so just because it's going to get in the way to whatever's trying to come in this month. And guess what? New love, right? So we have a new person has stirred your romantic feelings. So there may be someone trying to come in. And again, do not limit any of my readings to your romantic relationships. This can be a friendship. This can be a connection. This can be someone you can network with. This can be someone who's trying to have a conversation with you at the bus stop and you being resistant, right? So there's some type of new connection that's trying to be made. But if you have this mindset of like, people suck, everything sucks, everybody sucks, it kind of pushes this opportunity away from you. Like maybe you'll be a little distant and a little resistant to this person trying to come in, because you're thinking in your head, what do they want, right? And you're trying to figure out like, okay, what are they up to? Or maybe they're a little too eager for you or a little bit too on top of you, and you're like, and you're skeptical about it because you're like, okay, what is this and what does this person want? Or on the other hand, for some of you, it could be that they don't necessarily come on too strong, but they also, like, they have ways about them that kind of make you side-eye them a little bit. Like, or maybe they just don't get where you're at in life. So you just kind of like, well, they don't get it, so I'm gonna cut them off. That may be your energy. And this also could be their energy, because I'm sensing that someone wants to get close. But then it's like something about like your personality's not meshing together in the way that you feel like they should, and that might be bothering you as well this month. But the more you release and the more optimistic you are, and again, this doesn't need to be a fake smile, because I want to speak to that to somebody today. This doesn't need to be a fake smile, pile number 1. Don't get in the habit of like knowing you don't feel that way. That's okay. You know what I'm saying? But if the more you focus, like I said, the more you fill your own cups, you feel good about yourself, you go places you want to go, you have fun, you do all of these different things, the more you'll be in a higher frequency, and then we can attract this. Okay, and we can actually enjoy it when it comes, instead of looking at it trying to figure out what do they really want, what are they up to, like that type of thing. There's a little bit of paranoia for group number 1. So in summation of what we have impatience, but we have self-fulfillment. We have forgiveness, we have optimism, we have new love coming in October. So we love to see that, okay? So let's see what's going on in your career and finances. What is pile number 1 experiencing in their career and finances in October? One more card, Spirit Guides. Make it abundantly clear for me. What's pile number 1 experiencing in their career and finances? Okay, so we have coins. Pendulum. Okay, and Rose. Okay. Yeah, and then see we have, and with Rose, we have financial relief, being content, and loving care, right? Careers are supportive roles, job security growing, pendulum, fluctuating income, indecision, new strategy. Remember, we were talking about that earlier. And maybe that is exactly what you need, pal number one. And again, you'll know more than I would as far as what your new strategy will look like. But some of you just may need a new strategy. Whatever you're doing, it just ain't working out. And you kind of know it's not, and you kind of know that it doesn't make you happy, or that it makes you stressed, or maybe it is working, it's bringing in that coin, but it's tiring you the hell out, or you don't enjoy it anymore. You know what I mean? Or you went away from what your original purpose was, so now you kind of need to go back. Maybe it's one of those things where something's working, but then another thing is in, and it is fluctuating income, right? So I think money is good. I think what I'm feeling the most for you, pal number one, is that you may be good with money and work and like the routine of things, but you may not be satisfied with whether or not it's really hitting your purpose for you. Okay, pal number one. So whatever isn't working for you, right? The moment you switch your strategy up, that's when you're going to start feeling relieved. That's when you're going to start seeing like some, not that you're missing the income at all, because I don't think it's the income that's the problem, but that's when you'll start to see income and fulfillment like in one, versus having to choose one or the other. Maybe you'll do a job change, get a raise. For some of you, I just heard like some extra income, like maybe some unexpected money comes in. And for some of you, you need a partner. Not now, it's not a rush. But if you're like doing a business, or like even for some of you, I just heard a work project, you may need somebody to help you or come in and do like a certain part of it. Not because you can't, but because it may be too much on your plate, or maybe beyond your expertise, and you may be trying to do all of it by yourself, which is why you're in this position of stressness with this King of Pentacles and Page of Wands cards. Like we're just so focused on work and money and progress, and those are great things to be focused on, but not at the expense of your own happiness. Okay, so I'm not seeing much more. Let's see what other messages we can get for you. Group number one needs to know about October. What do they experience in October? Spirit, thank you. Your reading is so consistent, pile number one. Like, it's crazy. Clarity. Closing message for my pile number ones. Thank you, Spirit guides. Yeah. Okay. So, from our lessons deck, the lessons that you're learning this month is purpose. I know what I am here to do, which is a great affirmation if you guys need it. Okay, I know what I am here to do, right? And then success. I know that there is no greater goal than to love. Okay, and that actually ties in your personal general reading with your love reading perfectly. Okay. You're going to find, for some of you, I feel like you've been overworking and you've been so focused on your career and like building yourself up, even your self-image specifically, like building that up, that you're almost missing out on the opposite, like almost the opposite things. Love, your purpose. Again, whatever you started off, the reason why you started, whatever it is that you're working on, whatever the goal is, right? The reason why you started it is completely different now. Now it's about the money, with the look, the impressions, now it's about something that you just, it doesn't even resonate with your frequency anymore. I think this month is asking you to find a little balance, right? Kind of swing back to the other side, because you kind of lost the purpose a little bit. So this month may teach you purpose. For some of you, I'm just getting this strong message of rest. Okay? Strong message of rest. Strong message of like finding self again, you know? And then we have keepers of the earth. You are not alone. Ancestors stand beside you. And then we have awakening, energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. There's definitely some new love coming in. Let's see. So I'm going to read this from the book for y'all, because I want y'all to hear this, okay? You are so supported. You do not stand alone. You have a magnetic team of helpers, both in this world and of the earth, who are here to help you every step of the way. Call upon them for assistance. They are here to help. Okay, what kind of supports do you need? Call it in right away. Remember, we talked about that earlier of like, whatever it is you're doing, you don't have to do it alone. You can call in an expert, a person, again, spiritually. Maybe you can call for help, assistance, ideas, whatever it is that you believe in and whatever you feel like you need to do. Because you intuitively know what you need to do. We ain't even act like we don't. You know, just got to follow that feeling and not be afraid, you know? And the next card, you are going through a period of awakening. Things are changing within you and at many levels. You are starting to remember ancient truths and discovering more and more about who you are and why you incarnated. During this time of transition and awakening, the most important thing for you this time is not to overthink it and to stay grounded. Share your experiences with like-souled people while consciously integrating them. Share your experiences with like-souled people while you consciously integrate them, journal, and pay attention to your dreams. You are remembering your soul gifts are emerging during this time of transition and awakening. You may be called to devote yourself to being of service. Pulling this card may be a sign that you are to birth a creation into the world, or perhaps you are being called to make a shift in your life in order to be of service. Okay? So, y'all get those messages. Again, you are not alone. And I think a lot of you, I wouldn't be surprised if you got a lot of downloads this month. It just seems like you're trying to go along doing what you normally do, and then at some point it just hits and you understand what it is you need to do or how you need to step back, and then you know how to move forward from there, but only once you take a step back. I hope this is helpful for you, and if it was, go ahead and comment below and tell me what it was. Remember that I love you, and I hope you're having an awesome day. Bye. Hey, pal number 2, welcome to your reading for October 2023. Let's hop into these tarot cards. We have Strength, Upright, the 6 of Swords in reverse. Let me move it a little closer for y'all to see. The 8 of Pentacles in reverse as well. And we have Judgment in reverse. Okay, pal number 2. So the first message I heard right out the gate is that you are judging yourself entirely too harshly. Like, too harshly. You may even be judging other people harshly, especially when it comes to money, work ethic. Okay, especially if you have a certain standard for yourself and other people and somebody is just not meeting it. Maybe you are trying to meet it, right? But there's some sort of transition that's going on. It's just too much going on. You changing jobs, you moving around, your car broke down. It's something going on that's keeping you from being able to be as productive as you would like to be. And instead of just taking that and being like, okay, that happens sometimes, you may be really taking it personal or taking it as a hit to yourself or like your standard of living, the person you are, your abilities, like almost just being a little bit too hard on yourself, right? For some of you, it's the opposite. It's like you're not being hard on yourself at all, and you're trying to be patient and you're trying to be restrained, but like under the surface, there's like a lot going on and boiling over. Like there's so much irritation, there's so much doubt and uncertainty, maybe wanting to go back to the way something was before. And for somebody specific, you may have children, and so you may be doing this thing where you want to put on a good front and put on like a strong face for them because you don't want them to get scared or nervous or uncertain, and this can be in any way. It doesn't have to be financially. It's gonna be in any way. Something's going on and you're trying to shield your family, your children, whoever it is from it. So you're kind of keeping a good face, but under that there may be a sense of like almost dread, a lot of like fear and experience, things of that nature. Or and also just very resistant to help as well. And I'm not going to give you a speech about help, asking for help or needing help, but that just may be something that comes up, is that you realize that you do need help in some form or the other. Pile number 2. Okay, we're putting on a strong face, and we love you for that, because sometimes life just does require you to persevere. Pile number 1, like for real, we all been there. But I wonder if there are some ways you could relieve yourself if you just were willing to be open about what it is that you needed, or be vulnerable, or even just entertain the possibility that what you think is supposed to happen may not be like, the end all be all, okay? So let's get into these cards in your love life, right? Let's clarify your love life, because I don't see anything romantic here. What is pile number 2? What are they experiencing in their love life in October? They're experiencing in their relationships in October. There it is. Ooh, a lot. A lot, pile number 2. Okay, so first thing was stay optimistic about your love life, right? Okay, positive thinking. Faith will bring you romance, okay? Then there's deception. So it's like we have this stay optimistic, but we're immediately met with deception. We have it's safe for you to love. Let your friends help you. Both of these cards confirm. And then, of course, we have children. Didn't I mention children earlier? Did. Okay. There's so many things I pick up from this. The main thing that I pick up is that someone specific, you may have a very doubtful way of looking at the way people can show up for you. So this isn't just romantic. You may really think that like no one cares, or they care but you don't want to bother them, or whatever it is that you think when it comes to your romantic relationships or your other relationships. But the reality of it is they do care. You have to ask for help. Perhaps you're asking the wrong person. For some of you, you may be so focused on getting help from somebody specific that you're like completely oblivious to a person that is offering some sort of help or love or support, or they're just trying to be there, and you may not be as open to it as you should be, right? Because like I said earlier, whatever you're going through, it may feel personal, pile number 2. So personal, it's so your business, it's so like your job that you don't want to help, like ask nobody to help you with it, because you like, okay, well, they didn't birth these kids, they didn't, you know what I mean, they didn't get me in this situation, like they shouldn't have to suffer. But don't see it that way, or don't see it like nobody ever comes through, especially if you know that there is somebody that's trying to come through or is willing. Okay, but even if you ignore that completely, I wouldn't be surprised if people offered you help this month, offered you things, was really sweet, wanted to check on you, wanted to come visit you. I would question, if you know that someone means well, I would question if you are being like kind when they're being kind to you. You know what I mean? Like, don't shut people out if you know that like that's not what you need right now. Deception. Let's cover that. Now, like I said, you may feel that people are being deceptive, but they may not be. But I also sense that someone is keeping a mask in a relationship. This doesn't 100% feel like they're holding a mask so that they can deceive you. This more so feels like they're covering up something. They're covering up their real feelings to kind of shield your own, or vice versa. That's what you're doing for somebody else. This also feels like you are watching them and you feel like they're being deceptive, or they're not telling you the truth, or they're not being 100% themselves. That may be something that comes up as well. Again, fueling your pessimism, because you're like, now I know you're not sitting up here lying to me, you know what I mean, looking at that person crazy, because you feel like, okay, they're lying, or they're not being 100% open about how they really feel. But I don't think it's you, and I don't think it's anything that you need to necessarily worry about. And again, this is a general spread, so you may come to find during the month that it is something that you need to worry about. But paired with all of your other cards, it really does feel like whatever it is that they're doing or not doing has nothing to do with you, and you shouldn't take it on as an additional thing that you have to worry about. Okay? This can be romantically, this can be your sister, your brother, your cousin, your mama. You'll know. Okay, file number 2. So let's hop into your career really quickly. What does file number 2 need to know about their career and finances in October? One more card here, guys. Thank you. Yours. Let's see. We have bad investment. Coffin rather. There's a bad investment. Financial challenges, savings. Careers could be office work, working the night shift, having a job that is ending. We have cutlery. Okay, business tools, needing more money, living well. You could be in food related careers, or somebody around you is, like that might be a conversation that's constantly happening. You could be a sole provider. You can need more work. Let me read the other cards first. And then we have gold, solid finances, integrity, and deep values. Okay, banking, long-term position, satisfying work. Wings, rising above money issues, businesses taking off, profit. You could be into spiritual work, Working in your life purpose or your mission. Okay, so what this essentially feels like, right, is that, because for some of you, I don't think that you're struggling 100%. I don't think it's like I don't have a dime in my bank account. More than I think that you may not have what you want, and or you're either living paycheck to paycheck, or you just want to be thriving more than you are right now. Like, you don't want to just be making money. You want to be like really killing it, right? So there definitely might be a bad investment. Like, you overspun, you overshot, you invested in something that is not bringing any fruit. There's something going on there, or maybe you're trying to figure it out. But I think throughout the month, you're going to figure out how to profit off of whatever it is, or how to make more money, or getting another job, a second job. Like, I feel like something's going to start. It feels like something is going to start coming together as the month goes. Pile number 2. You'll figure something out, and then you'll start to work on it. But again, try not to get frustrated. Try not to get in this energy of like, oh, I'm not doing what I want to do, and because it's like, it's all building up to something. If you do end up, let's say you work a certain job, and for example, you do decide that you need to work back in food, or you need to like pick up another job, or maybe do your passion on the side, but like work your full time. Don't beat yourself up because you're not excelling the way that you want to, because this is all leading you to ultimately what you're trying to do overall. Just a little tidbit. So we're kind of doing a flip-flop in the month. We're going from, we need more money, we need to make better decisions, damn, that investment messed me up, to like, okay, I'm figuring it out, I'm rising above the situation, it's starting to work out. But you have to let it. And again, try your best to do away with the judgment. Okay, try your best. File number 2. I know it's hard, especially when you're used to having a certain standard for yourself. But the more you allow yourself to be human, the less hard or the less embarrassing like the whole situation seems. Because I think sometimes that's what we get in our head. It's like, this is so embarrassing, or this is not what I really wanted for myself, or blah, 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 blah. It's like, yeah, but it's life. You can get through this like you've gotten through everything else you've gotten to. You just have to stick to something. Especially if you keep up with your consistency, because the word integrity is sticking out for me. And if you have a tendency to start and go and like try and then quit, nothing's wrong with that. I think all of us have a little bit of a send off in us, but I just want to mention to somebody, like, the more you work on your integrity and your consistency throughout the month, the better things get. To your ability. Don't think about the ability that you think it should be. But if you think you can only be consistent with something, or I don't know, keep up with something in a certain way or at a certain time, then do what you can do. It'll work out. For clarity, any other messages for my pal number 2 for October? So this is interesting. This kind of takes us in a different direction. We have full moon in Libra, find a balance. So pile number 1, this card is asking you to obviously find a balance, but a balance between your needs and the needs of others, right? So either you're overgiving, and when I say overgiving, I think what we all think of is like physically. We're giving gifts, we're giving time, we're giving money, we're giving energy. Maybe we're even giving emotion and kindness. But this kind of feels like we're over concerned and over involved. Now, this can be either way. Over involved in self, so much so that we're neglecting other things, or so over involved in other people and what they're doing and not doing and who's doing and da-da-da. Again, judging so harshly that we're like tipping the scale the opposite way. Find a balance between your needs and the needs of other people around you, including your children, including your job, including your lover, family member, person living in your house, whoever. Those things need to be balanced out, and then we'll find a little more joy in October, okay? And that's easier said than done. Let me say that. It's definitely easier said than done to find balance, especially if there's a lot of stress or if it's a lot going on. Like I said, if there's a transition, there's some self-doubt. It's a lot harder than it looks. But I almost feel like, okay, hold on, follow me here, y'all. We all know kind of subconsciously when the scale is too heavy on one side, when we're taking on too many tasks, when we're not sleeping enough, when we're too hungry, when we're working a job we can't stand. We can feel when it's too much on one side, Or vice versa, when you ain't seen nobody in months because you've been figuring out yourself. And not in a good way where you're trying to like stay low key to fix yourself, but like it's to a point where you're being rude and you're like ignoring folk. And like we know when our scales are off. All this is asking you to do, pile number one, is to take something off the scale so that it goes back to normal, so that things level out. And only you know what that is. Okay? So closing this message, what's the overall message for my pile number twos for this month? Okay, yeah, dance with life, do something to change your energy. And then we have longing for home, belonging in the original light workers. This card reminds me of your, where is it at? Didn't we get, yeah, spiritual work, life purpose. Okay, so some of you could be into spiritual work. Some of you could be into, it's so interesting that this came up. Well, one, let's start with dance with life. Change your energy, dance, let it go, stop worrying about it, give it a couple hours. Do what I'm picturing is like when we do like 45 minutes of work, 15 minutes off, something like that, to shift yourself away from whatever it is that you're having anxiety about, so that you can let your creativity shine through. Because when we're too worried, we can't think. Okay, but when we have Mentakin, I hope I'm saying that right, longing for home, belonging, the original light workers, there's some part of you that wants to feel seen or heard, pile number two. You want your struggle to be heard. You want your story to be heard. You need, community. And I keep getting this picture of somebody who wants to share on social media. And I'm going to read this passage from the book. But there's somebody that wants to be heard on social media. And you haven't quite posted it because you were worried about the judgment of others or being perceived a certain way. Don't even worry about it. You'll see. Okay, hold on 1 second, pile number two. Okay, so it says, Mentakins are a soul group who originated on the planet in the constellation Orion. They were the first star beings to travel to Earth and believed to be the original light workers. They feel most at peace and at home around crystal clear water. They teach us to see potential in everything and light in all beings. They long for home. It could mean that this card could mean that you are Mentakin or are longing for a sense of belonging, and root chakra healing is necessary for you to feel secure and safe. Perhaps you've been moving around a lot and yearn for a place to call your own. You're being called to create this for yourself. Choose where you feel the most at home and create it rather than waiting for the feeling of belonging to come. Yes, I like that. That wraps it up very well. Find your own sense of belonging. Kind of embrace where you are right now and kind of make that your home. Okay, pile number two. Thank you so much for watching this reading. If it resonated for you, please go ahead and like, share, comment, subscribe below, and follow me on IG for daily zodiac updates. I love you and I hope you're having an awesome day. Bye. Hey, pile number three. Welcome to your reading for October 2023. Let's hop into these tarot cards, right? So we have the 10 of Cups. Love to see it. Okay, then we have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Then you have the Two of Wands upright. And the Devil in reverse. This reading is so like perfect but bittersweet at the same time. So the first thing I'm getting is that there is a lot of full circle moments. I wouldn't be surprised if you felt a lot more closer to family, a lot more fulfilled, a lot more, I don't know, just happy when it comes, especially when it comes to your romantic relationships or maybe even internally. There's no shortage of love and abundance in your life in October, pile number three. Love to see it. This definitely can be in the form of community, but I do think there's a heavy focus on family. There may be some generational curses that you're trying to break this month or breaking this month. Maybe you even realize that you have a habit or a reaction to your family that you didn't know was there before, right? So for somebody specific, you may overindulge a lot, maybe spend a little bit too much money. Maybe you find yourself spending too much money with your family or for your family, and you realize that it's kind of setting your goals back a little bit. For somebody I just heard, you are just so willing to drop everything because you love your family, you love your kids, you love your husband, you love your grandma, your auntie, your cousin, that whole side of the family that's not necessarily your immediate family. You love them so much that you're so willing to put all of these things down to the side for them. Or they make a request of you and you just go with it because that's my mom, that's my dad, whoever it is. It's no problem. But for some of you, you may wonder like if that's starting to get in your way a little bit, or keeping you from focusing on the task that you need to focus on at hand, which you normally would do with no problem, but you may be now realizing like, okay, I'm getting in my own way a little bit. There may also be a little stress at work or even with your finances. For some reason, I keep hearing something about a trip when it comes to the Two of Wands. So you could be taking a trip, but the trip itself may be a little bit out of your budget, okay? A little bit out of your budget, and you haven't said anything yet. But it's nothing wrong with you going on the trip. It's just more so about managing your money and your time before that. So that may be something that comes up for you. For some of you, it could be leaving a job or leaving a stressful work, money situation. Finally just saying, you know what? No thanks. I'm going to do something different. Or at least I'm going to start planning to do something different, putting the work in to get there. And again, for some of you, this is for the betterment of your family, the betterment of your future, and it's the betterment of your self-fulfillment. For some of y'all, it's not even what's the word I'm looking for? For some of you, it's not even your like familiar, like your actual related family. This could be a community that you're a part of as well. I feel like I'm picturing a group chat that you're a part of. Okay, file number 3. So let's get into it. What's the overall message? Any additional messages about this for pile number 3, spirit guides? Thank you. Yeah, work through your feelings. Last quarter moon in Aries. You may have an earth sign, Capricorn, double on the Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo that may be important. And then we also have Aries here. Could be another fire sign that's important to you. Sagittarius or Leo energy as well. Sorry, Leos. They probably watching this like, girl, you forgot me. Work through your feelings is a card about basically that. Work through your feelings, especially if you know that they have been hurt. And specifically with someone that you are close with. Someone on the home front. Which makes sense, especially if you feel like someone is self-absorbed. For some of you, you have a father who's just a lot. Maybe even a mother, but they're just a lot. It's the way that they say things. It's the way that they do things. Maybe this is something in the past as well, right? And so it's just like you may have moved forward in a general sense. Again, breaking generational curses. I'm not going to do this to my friends. I'm not going to do this to my family. I'm not going to do this to my kids. But it's still kind of cycling. So it's like those things need to be dealt with in your relationships, with your mom, dad, whoever it is. And we don't have to go so deep. This can be just like this month they cut you a little deep. They say something a little too quick to you. But the best thing you can do is deal with it. The best thing you can do is address it. Maybe not from a place of anger, but definitely directly. Again, if this is something in the past, we know the outlets for that. You may be considering therapy, journaling, whatever. But if this is something like recent, maybe just going ahead and saying it. Hey, I didn't like the way you said that. That kind of hurt my feelings. Or I don't, like I said earlier, you're making a plan to prevent something from happening in the future. Clarity. So let's clarify your love and relationships. Let's see more about that. What does file number 3 need to know about their love and relationships in October? Yeah. What does file number 3 need to know about their love and relationships in October? Interesting. Okay, so first things out was let go of control issues. And it says, allow the situation to unfold naturally. Then we have deception. Someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. Okay, I'm not really 100% sure that these two are yours. I know chemistry is yours here. Okay, so it says there's a strong magnetic attraction here. And then there's stay optimistic about your love life and very soon. This let go of control issues, it can go two ways, but the way that I'm picking up intuitively is that there's someone around you that has control issues. They may control the narrative. They may control how you see things or how they want you to see things. And you know this though. This isn't something like you need to be looking around over your corner. This feels like something you know already, like, again, if you have a father that's like this, or just like a male in your life who's like this, and it doesn't have to be, it can be, you know, someone female or someone else, but it's just, it's feeling very masculine to me. I'm not gonna lie to you. This feels like someone who is just controls the narrative a lot. And so you may be kind of struggling with that this month to kind of like get them to loosen up. But on the other hand, because we do have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, you could be struggling with those issues as well, pile number 3. Trying to control everyone's perception of something. Again, people pleasing is a form of control. I know people have been kind of arguing that a lot on the internet lately, but it is. When you are not only, but when you're doing things just so that you can get a certain reaction or just so that someone's happy, you're kind of not letting the natural flow of things happen. Sometimes people are going to be upset. Sometimes people are going to have to be uncomfortable if you have to say no or if you can't show up. It's not your job to take that on to control the situation, if I'm making any sense. So kind of let go of those controls issues well, especially if you find yourself being self-absorbed. And again, what I'm picturing is someone, you know what it makes me think of? A parent buying a bunch of gifts for their children on Christmas, and then like the kids are like not happy with 2 or 3 of the gifts, and like the parent getting mad, like, I did all of this for you. That's a little level of control. Like you were expecting a certain reaction, and when you didn't get it, there was like quote unquote hell to pay. So just being careful about those sort of things. If you're not happy with something, if you don't enjoy something, if you feel like you need more, if you want more appreciation, if you can't do something, if you don't want to do something, express those things this month if you can. But again, those things may come out. There is some chemistry brewing for my single pile number 3s. Some chemistry brewing between someone. None of my readings ultimately aim for romantic relationships, but I think a lot of people get focused on that because we all want love. You'll know if this is somebody romantic or if this is somebody else by the end of the month. But there's some chemistry brewing. The thing is, you have to stay optimistic, and you have to be sure about what you want. For somebody specific, if you're too attached to what you think something should look like, then you kind of push this away, right? Because if you have chemistry for somebody, but then you're like thinking like, well, I want it to go this way. Again, being controlling. I want it to go this way. I want the trip to go this way. I want the expression of this person's love, or the likes, or I want it all to go this way. You kind of take away from like what actually is happening. Okay, pile number 1. So when these opportunities get the rolling in, be careful about like being specific. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you right now. But there's definitely a strong attraction that's coming up. You may just be really attached to your ex or like the last person you dealt with, because it's like kind of getting in your way. You're on the way of moving forward. You're planning for the future. There are good things. There's opportunities coming in. But this attachment, baby, got you in a chokehold. Maybe you're still trying to release it. Be careful about that getting in your way in October. Okay. Clarity. What's going on in their finances? What does number 3 need to know about their finances? Y'all cards came out quick. Okay. Rose. Okay, financial relief, being content, loving care, careers, maybe a supportive role, job security, and growing. We love to hear that. Interesting. There's anchor, money blocks, being stuck, financially sound, career could be water related, travel. Again, we talked about travel earlier, and then we have you're stable for now. Okay. Sword, money conflicts, cutting corners, and having a breakthrough. Careers could be law and order. You can get a pay cut. Defense, working in defense or some type of nature, and then being fired. Like I said, there is some work problems going on for some of you. So being fired or having some type of money issues or being stuck may be a real thing. But I don't feel like that's the case for all of you. I think for some of you, money's okay. Money's okay. I don't see any big, like, something's changing, I think for the most part, money's okay. It's working for now. But I think some of you may be typing out, you know, kind of figuring out, okay, what's after this? Because this was cute, but now I kind of want to do something else. Or this is, you know what I mean? Like, we're kind of starting to think of something different. And again, if there is money conflicts, it's like, okay, well, we have to figure out what's next. But I think for now, you'll be okay until the next month. It's kind of the vibe that I'm picking up. For some of you who have a stable job, I'm just not sure if you're fully happy with how much you're making or how the job like operates. Okay. And there's really nothing much here because we've talked about this a lot. Just be careful about being complacent in wherever it is you're working or how things are going when it comes to your finances and money. Again, we're changing things. Okay, pile number 3. So closing this message, what message do you have for my pile number 3 in October? What message do you have for pile number 3 in October? Thank you. Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations, divine plan. Which makes sense that you even got the grandmother because we've been talking about your family the whole reading. Something is going on with y'all family. So let's see. I'm going to go ahead and read this from the book, you guys, just so we can get some information. Anna, grandmother of Jesus, was an ancient mystic who dedicated her life to laying the foundations for Christ consciousness to be woven throughout all of life. She is not widely known, but without her, Christ consciousness would not be rising as it is today. Anna teaches us that we all have a part to play in the divine plan. It doesn't have to be on the world stage to be significant. One person's part is not worthier than the other. Anna is gathering us to remember. Anna is gathering us all to remember and surrender to our part of the plan. Okay, and this does talk a lot about children, but I don't want to, read the whole thing to you. But you do play a part in how things grow and change within your life and your family this month. Pile number 3. For some reason, I'm picking up that someone tells you that you're like, you don't do nothing, or you're lazy, or you don't contribute, or I don't know. Like, they try to question what you do, but I think that like you're doing your part, or you know what part you're playing, what part you want to play. For others of you, it's bigger than that. Whatever you're doing this month, you're trying to lead towards creating something better for the future. And we let us see it, okay, pile number 3? Thank you so much for watching this reading, pile number 3. If this resonated for you, please go ahead and comment below your thoughts and follow me on IG for daily zodiac updates. I love you, and I hope you're having an awesome day. Bye. Hey, pile number 4. Welcome to your reading for October 2023. Let's hop into these tarot cards and see what's to it. So we have the Hierophant. Then we have the Ace of Wands upright. Yeah. Then we also have 3 of Wands in reverse. And we have the Chariot. The immediate message that I got intuitively with these cards, pile number 4, is that we are... It feels like you're finally getting an understanding of something. You finally learned it. You know it. You know what you're supposed to do. You're inspired. Maybe you got an answer that you've been waiting on. And now it's like, okay, what do I do now? What do I... It's not even that you don't even know what to do, but now there's fear. Now there's, you're questioning yourself. Do I really want this? Do I really want to do this? Is this going to be too much work? Is this too much stress? Is this out of my comfort zone? Is this out of my expertise? It's almost as if you start to question something that you finally get the information to. This also could be just like a lack of focus as well. A lack of like, I have the project in mind. I know what I'm supposed to be doing, but I don't know if I really feel like doing that. Okay? I don't really know if I feel like going in that direction, or maybe you find it hard to focus, right? Because we have this little bit of self-doubt. We may find it hard to focus because we're like, okay, why even bother? You know what I mean? With whatever this is. Now, for some of you, this looks like school. Some of you could be in school, quite literally, translating the Hierophant with lessons. This can be spiritual lessons where you kind of get a download. This can also be just tradition, but in the sense of saying of me thinking of something along the lines of following a pattern to get something done, right? So, for example, if let's say you're in a certain career field and there's a certain way to do things and you're going up the steps, you're following that pattern, it's what you want to do, you're inspired by it, but then you kind of get stopped somewhere in the middle, right? For the others of you, like I said earlier, it's an answer, right? So you very specifically, someone has been dealing with a relationship or a person or something social, and you just for the longest time was just so confused and you didn't know what to do, and you had like an inkling, but you weren't really sure. Now you're sure. But now it's brought up almost a whole slew of new problems that you weren't expecting, because you thought that if you knew what you needed to know, you would know what to do next. And now it's like, not really. You know what I'm saying? Clarity for my pile number 4s in the month of October. Let's see. Yeah, keep your heart open. First quarter moon in Libra. This card pretty much talks about being a little bit too attached to a goal and too attached to an outcome. And so it's kind of becoming a reminder to keep your heart open, keep your mind open to the possibilities. Remember I said earlier, you may have wanted it to look a certain way, or maybe you thought it would go a certain way. Whatever this goal is, whatever this thing is, this answer is. And now it's like kind of looking like it's going to require more, or it's going to require something that you didn't really picture. It don't fit in the picture. It's not as aesthetic as you want it to be. Or again, you may be just so attached to the process and the goal and taking certain steps. Again, for somebody I just heard, it's in a relationship. We've been hit together this long, we should be doing this. Or we're friends, so this is how it should go. Or whatever it is, but you're like almost so attached to what it should be that you're not opening up to the possibilities of what it could be. It feels like a very good month in a sense where I feel like you're inspired and moving forward, pile number 4, for sure. It feels like we're creating something and we're trying something new, but then the self-doubt kind of like puts itself in the way because of the movement or the lack thereof, or again, we're questioning if this is even what we want anymore. So let's clarify. Oh, we got a little wax spillage. Let's clarify for pile number 4. What's going on in their love and relationships? What's pile number 4 need to know about their love and relationships in October? One more. Thank you. Okay, unrequited love. There it is. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. And I'm going to pull this one over first. True love. Interesting. This says this is the romance of a lifetime. And then this one says this could be the one. And it says you've already met the romantic partner that you seek. Don't take those so literally, pal number 4. There's an abundance of ways that this message can go, but I'm going to read it the way that I see it, right? The immediate message that I'm getting is that you may have your eyes so set on someone specific, or like, again, having a certain friendship, having it go a certain way. Like you just may have your mind so set that you may not even be paying attention to the ways in which things are going differently. Again, you have such a plan, the way things should be, the way it should go, that you may push off honestly how this person really is and who they really are. And that's not necessarily in a bad sense, but to give an example, if you are someone who's more peaceful and quiet, right? And that person appears peaceful and quiet, but then they get upset and they're kind of loud. You may get in your mind like, oh, that's not the type of person I want to be associated with, right? So be careful about having that type of mindset when it comes to people this month. But same in the vice versa. You may be seeing that there's a lot of things that are showing you that this person is not for you, or not you're not supposed to be friends with, or you're not supposed to continue on the journey with this person. But you've kind of already made up your mind that this is the person, this is the one, and I'm just going to stick beside him. And it's like, maybe not. Maybe not, perhaps. And again, you take this message however it resonates for you, pal number 4. This is a general reading, so this may only be for a few people, but that's what I'm picking up. It's like, there's this commitment and dedication, but then on the opposite side, it's like, this can't keep going on like this. You know, there has to be some realism this way. For some of you, you've met somebody that is the one for you, or a person you're supposed to know, but you may be still stuck on something from before. Or you just let go of something from before, and now you're coming into the person. Because I feel like for some of you, this answer that you get this month, the information, the stuff that you needed to know, this, you know, so that you can make the move, it's the exact thing you need to get out of this unrequited love situation. And again, don't just stick this to your romance. This can be your friends, your family, whatever it is. These cards predominantly talk about love, but it doesn't have to be. It can be something else. Okay. Could be a complete split. You absolutely in love with your person, but then there's like, you know, another relationship in your life where it's like, God damn it, get away from me. You'll know pile number 4. So in a way, I do see love coming in. I just wonder if there's attachment issues on either side. So let's clarify your career and finances. What does pile number 4 need to know about their career and finances? Jesus Christ. 2 more. What does pile number 4 need to know about their career and finances in October? Pile number 4 need to know about their career and finances in October. Thank you very much, Spirit. Okay, cutlery, business tools, needing more money, living well. Then we have gears, money flow, hard work, putting plans into motion. And then tree, financial growth, coming to fruition, abundance. Very cut and dry message. You got the tools. Now you're starting to put it in motion. Just like we've been talking about the whole time. There's a lot of financial growth. For some of you, it's not even just growth. It's like promotion and you know, building up on what you already have achieved. Somewhere during the month, like I know we talked about earlier about like you seeing what you need to see, knowing what you need to know and not sure where to put it, you know, now that you have the information. For some of you, it's like you know where to put it, but then somewhere in the month you just get really distracted and you kind of just lose the plot. You lose the plot. And more so because you know that you know what you're doing. So it's easy for you to be kind of like, you know, like I already know this is going to turn out right. And so then you walk away from a project, walk away, take some time off. You do something like that and then you realize like, oops, I forgot. And it doesn't set you back, but it does feel like that lack of focus kind of messes things up a little bit, just a tad bit, but nothing too crazy. Because whatever you're doing, you're trying to bring in more money, which it literally does for you. Very great. Careers you could be into, food related. You could be a sole provider of your household, taking on more work. You could be building. You can be on a team. You can be taking some time off, like I talked about earlier. Job security. Another career could be outdoor jobs, working in your family business, and working on your security. Yeah, some of you are really on the path of building wealth. And this feels so general because I feel like whatever it is you're doing, it just takes time. It takes skill specifically. Like, again, I keep picturing people who are like lawyers and doctors and, you know, whatever it is. Maybe you have a career field like you're a cop or something like that where you need to continue to do something for a long time. And over time, you just see more and more benefits or you get more accolades or whatever it is. It's not something that just can happen so quickly. But it's sturdy. And you know what I mean? And it doesn't, not to say that those are the only career fields that are sturdy, but whatever you're building right now, pile number 4, it just has so much abundant potential that's almost a guarantee if you do the work. I ain't mad at it. Okay. So let's close this reading for you, pile number 4. What is the overall message that you have for my pile number 4? Is anything they need to know overall in the month of October? Yes. Okay. 2 cards. Play. It says, have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. And then we have, don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? And I'm actually going to read both of these from the book. So for play, we have, stop taking life so seriously. Your spirit needs to have some fun. The more you play, the more inspiration will follow. Take some time out to do something without being too attached to the outcome. Ain't no way. We talk about this in this card. Don't be so attached to the outcome. If you have been working hard lately, it's time to celebrate how far you have come, all that you have achieved. Don't rush to the next thing. Take a moment to throw a party, go on vacation, and have some fun. So this is basically, like I said earlier, we're opening up, loosening up. And I think it's just more so because of, like I said, the outcome. Because the original message was about like you following the steps, having the plan, and then questioning it. And so I'm now wondering if it's questioning it because someone else or some outside external force is kind of trying to like either prevent you from taking this serious route, or I don't know, you're just so caught up on the like getting it to go how you want it to go, that the mere fact that it's slowing down is making you doubt it, if that makes any sense. Interesting turn of events. Okay, so we have, don't dim your light to accommodate anyone else's smallness. We are all born to shine big and bright. The universe is expanding and you are a part of the universe, so expanding is a part of your nature. Back away from anyone that makes you want to retract. Our relationships are essentially an energetic agreement. The moment one person decides to start rising up and allowing their light to shine, it changes the energetic agreement and can create waves. That's completely normal. The relationships that are meant to last will adapt to the change in energy. Others won't, because they were likely born under the proviso of I love you as long as you don't shine brighter than me. And that's okay. Not all people are meant to be in your life forever, but the lessons they teach us can still live on. Okay. Because maybe that self-doubt is coming from outside of you. But I also wonder if this is a message to you to not dim yourself to kind of fit into a box as well. When it comes to whatever these skills and the steps is taking. I mean, it's a general reading, so this can be for a lot of people. But you guys let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this reading, pile number 4. If it resonated, please let me know what did in the comments. And follow me on IG for daily zodiac updates. Remember that I love you and I hope you're having an awesome day. Bye.